She got a headache. It's official, like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this video. So there's a question that I got from a long-time subscriber, and he said that he's been with this girl for a couple years, and things aren't going so well, at least in the way he would like. He says every time he tries to make love to his woman, she keeps saying she got a headache, and she don't comes up with all these excuses why she can't do it. And to me, it's kind of funny. I want to laugh, but I don't want to laugh because I know it's I know it's some BS when it comes to this. Look, if a woman, this never happened to me, by the way. I never had a woman like said she had a headache. Now, did I ever feel like this girl didn't want to sleep with me? Of course. Yeah. That happens. That happens to every man. But I never had a girl that told me she had a headache and tried to avoid any type of intercourse with me. Like tried to come up with excuses like I gotta work late, or I gotta go out of town for 2 weeks to 30 days with the job, or tried to come up with every excuse to stay out the home from the husband and the family. No, I never had a situation like that. But I know guys that have. And I think it's a bad situation, to be honest. But if a girl tells you she has a headache, tries to avoid any type of intimate, interaction or intercourse, and if this happens like on a regular, that relationship is pretty much over. Yeah, it's pretty much over. And there's always exception to the rule. There's some people that do a 180. They'll go from sexless to they back at it like it never happened before, like it was the first time when they first met. That does happen. But those numbers are very slim. Most of the time when the relationship goes dead or dry, that's usually it. the most part. It ain't really no coming back from that when that happens in most cases. Unfortunately, if a woman tells me now let's assume that let's assume she's sick, right? If she's sick, don't feel well, okay, that's understandable. And that's always keep in mind. A woman is not, I'm going to say, now if she's married to you, that, being intimate, that comes along with it. Let's call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? That comes along with it. Unless you want her to be with somebody else. But that everything, when you're married to somebody, you live, I'm not gonna say necessarily if you live with somebody. I'm gonna say if you're married to somebody, everything is on the table. If you're married to somebody. But if you live with somebody, everything doesn't necessarily get put on the table because y'all kind of playing house, and a lot of times the relationship dynamics is so different for almost everybody that's living together that's not married. You have some people are just playing house, or some people just living together for convenience. Some people just living together because they don't have no place else to go, or they can't afford it, live by themselves, and on and on and on. Some people can't do better. They can't get nobody. I can go on and on and on. So that's why I said everything is not on the table unless you're married. So if you're not married, this is my opinion. A woman is not obligated to sleep with you if y'all not married. Just like a man is not obligated to sleep with you if y'all not married. Now, some people might disagree with that. Some people will probably say, if we're in a committed relationship, period, he or she should be obligated. I get that. I can get where you coming from, depending on how you were raised and your values, standards, all that. I could get that. I could understand where you coming from, but if she's doesn't feel well, that's understandable. But if you would know if she's perpetrating, if you've been around someone for a while, and especially if it's an ongoing thing, like she makes excuses why she got to be away from the house or whatever. She's not y'all not even maybe y'all don't even hug no more. Don't even kiss no more. No type of touchy-feely interaction, none whatsoever. Y'all like best buddies living together. And this is what y'all relationship, marriage has become. And you probably have an idea like she's probably laid up with somebody else. And it's probably on the job. It's probably on the job too. But on the job, it probably doesn't happen very often. It probably happens once, twice a year. So that kind of keeps her going, Maybe she's not a serial cheater, because women are more strategic cheaters. The person she's laid up with probably at the job. Because see, the person on the job, the guy on the job is more than likely just like her in the same or similar situation. And he's probably not doing very much at home either with his wife. So they both, in essence, are using each other. And they know this. They know it. It's not like a secret. So they might get together twice a year or whenever they see fit. Whenever they see fit. But it's not enough to make things seem suspicious, though. That's the thing. It's not like it's a once a month thing or twice a month thing where she's breaking patterns or anything like that. And when she goes on some type of, let's say she have a job where she has to travel or something like that every once in a while, she could easily plan to get with this guy or even another guy that she's probably had eyes on for some time. And 9 times out of 10, these guys are in the same or similar situation. So there's no pattern interrupt. There's nothing you could say as a husband because you're not there. You're at home with the kids. Or you're at home by yourself. And maybe you're in Atlanta and she's traveling to Detroit. She'll be there for 30 days or 2 weeks. So you don't know anything, really. Now, when she comes back home, she might be in a different type of, she might have a different type of aura about herself, or she might start kind of picking and nagging on you for anything. It could be for anything. That's usually a red flag, because whether you know it or not, after a guy sleeps with a woman, 3 days later, at least 2 to 3 days later, that guy, that woman takes on some of that guy's energy. A lot of people don't understand how that works. This is why it's so important for women to choose their partners well, because when she gets up and leaves that man, she's going to take on some of that energy of that guy. This is why it's so important for women to choose their partners wisely. But in most cases, they don't. They don't choose their partners wisely because they don't really know how. They don't really know who they are, and they don't know how this shit really works when it comes to energy. The whole vibe could be off. If a woman sleeps with a different guy other than her husband. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of guys pick up on it, like, oh, okay, something happened when she was out there with somebody. And it could be with a man or woman. Could be with a man or woman. In today's time, really. Yeah, you just never know. Could be with a man or a woman. Who would ever think that you would ever even have to think about your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, being with another woman. That probably will never even cross your mind. I know it, when I was growing up, that never crossed my mind. I just never, it just never dawned on me that one day I'd be even saying something like that. You know, that, hey, if your boy, because you kind of, because see, if somebody says somebody's cheating, we just assume that it's the, if it's a woman, we assume that it's a man. If it's a man, we assume that it's a woman. Right? But that ain't the case today. It could be either or. It could be either or today, man. That's how wild and it's gotten out here. That's how wild it's gotten out here, man. You know, you just don't know. Sometimes it's gotten so wild out here. If I know one girl, she found out her husband was cheating, and they live in Atlanta, and she wasn't really so upset. She said at least it was a woman and not a man. Because if she found out that it was a man, that marriage would have been over. You can't come back from that. You know, you can't come back from if you're a man, if you're a married man and you sleep with a man, are you married? You can't come back from that. Almost, I'm gonna say, the average woman in a situation like that is not going to tolerate that. That you can't, she ain't going to forgive you. No, not the average woman today. Now, there's some women out here that are degenerates. There's always an exception to the rule. Those numbers are very small. The average woman, you know, cringe. They cringe. They would cringe. Even if you ask them a question, hey, how'd you feel? How would you feel even if you ask them a question like, would you be okay dating a man that slept with another man? They cringe when you ask them. They cringe when you ask them a question like that, because that sounds disgusting to them. They're like, what? Oh my God. God, no. You know, so just imagine how a woman would feel if she was married to a dude and found out he was cheating with another man. Oh man, that would be a disaster for a woman, man. Woo-wee. Now, if it's another woman, it's like, oh, okay, she does look good, you know. At least, you know, do you love him? You know, that's the first question they usually ask. She does look good. She does look better than me. I gotta give it to her. Gotta give it, you know. Is she? How is she? You know, they'll ask a little question like that. And then depending on what type of guy you are, if she's really into you like that, she might be able to forgive you and y'all move on. Or she will probably just accept it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a man, another man, oh no, oh no, you can't come back from that. You're better off not saying anything. Take that to the grave, homeboy. Yeah. But yeah, if your woman starts acting like, oh, I got a headache all the time, and consistently saying, coming up with excuses why she don't want to come into bed, and she coming to bed while you sleep and all kind of shit like that, I would plan to get rid of her. That's what I would do. Because the relationship is it's pretty much over. There's no coming back. As a matter of fact, if you go too long sexless in the same household, the majority of time that relationship is over. It's gonna be over. In order for you to kind of save that relationship, two people would have to basically get real and strip down and be brutally honest about how they feel about each other, about everything involved in the relationship. They have to be brutally honest. And most people are not willing to do that. It's easier to just point the finger at the other person. That's why I say in most cases the relationship is over. It's just plan to move on. Most people are not willing to do that, especially women. Most women aren't willing to accept responsibility. They just want to blame the guy for everything. So, I'm not saying it's right, but that's usually how it goes. So share this episode. Tell me what you think below. Have you have an experience like this before? If so, leave your comments below. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.